Logic says, thinks the left pretends they're tolerant. They claim love and tolerance, but the second you disagree, they go full send hate and then cancel. I got to tell you, I think there's been a bit of a change in the left. If you go back about a year and a half, 2 years ago, the vast majority of the rhetoric of the left was really good rhetoric. It was equality and we love and help and Trump is a bad guy and we're the good guys. Their rhetoric was much more inclusive. Their rhetoric was much nicer. Now the rhetoric is do as I say or you're gone. The rhetoric has changed tremendously. And I think it's because now they're in charge, right? When they weren't in charge, they were like, come to us, we'll beat the evil Trump. And then they got in charge. They were like, now we're in charge. Do as we say. I really think they've changed a bit. That's just my feeling. And now they're hardcore canceling. They weren't canceling as badly at all when they were still trying to get rid of Trump. They were just trying to cancel Trump, right? That was it. And Trump is hard to cancel, right? He's like Chappelle in that regard. Tough to cancel Trump, right? Now they're canceling everybody. And my worry about the canceling more than anything else, right? Do I actually care if you go left or right to be forward? I actually don't. Just vote libertarian. But I am worried when you feel betrayed by your side. What does that mean? What I always say is the most zealous are the converted. So that includes, by the way, betrayal. If you're a left-leaning person and you hang out with left-leaning people, all good. If you're left, I got it. But if you get betrayed by the left, man, you hate the left because they betrayed you. You become super right guy or gal, right? And now you won't even hear the left because they betrayed you and that's it. And I don't want you that far right. I don't want you so far left or so far right that you won't hear the other. You don't have to believe the other or be the other, but you should be able to hear them, right? And go, okay, I hear you. You're wrong, but I hear you. I want you to be able to hear the other. My worry is when you get betrayed, you can't even hear them. So that's my worry about canceling. You're going to make a lot of people who just aren't going to hear, or they're going to check out. Rebecca says, even the left is canceling the left. Yes. For example, John Barrowman, a popular actor on Doctor Who and Arrow, who was flamboyant and far left, lost all his acting jobs because of his on-set behavior from some 20 years ago. Is that right? 20 years ago. You know, the piece that bothers me about that is maybe he was a bad guy 20 years ago. I don't know him, but for the sake of argument, we'll say he was. Does that mean he's that person now? And if the only thing you have is what someone said 20 years ago, isn't that by default meaning that the person's changed? In today's world, with cell phones and video cameras everywhere and Me Too, if John is still that bad guy, wouldn't that be happening now? So if it's not happening now, but it was happening then, isn't that literally evidence that he has become better or learned something or cares or something like that? Isn't that evidence? So now he's done better. He probably said he's sorry, I would assume if he did. So he said he's sorry and done better, and now you cancel him. Rebecca, the more we do this, people are going to say, I'm not sorry. I'm glad I did it. I'm going to do it again. Go to hell. That's what I'm going to say. Because if I say I'm sorry, you still cancel me. If I get better, you still cancel me. So I'm not getting better. And I'm not saying sorry. I'm going to double and triple down. And you can't do anything about it. And guess what? Who's been doing that? All the people who can't get canceled because they don't care. You're going to try to cancel them anyway. So you say, you know what? I'm doubling down. And when they show that strength, people follow that. People follow confidence, even off a cliff. People do. And I think you're seeing it right now, Rebecca. That's a good point. Dustin says, tolerance will reach such a level that intelligent people will be banned from thinking so as not to offend the imbeciles. There's a difference, Dustin, between tolerance and acceptance. There's a difference between tolerance and acceptance and even affirmation. There's a difference, right? You're going to tell me 2 + 2 is 5. I can go, it's 4. You go, no, it's 5. I go, okay, and I walk away. That's tolerance. But if you get angry at me and go, no, You must accept that it's 5. Now we have a problem. I didn't say it was 5. I said it was 4. You said it was 5. All right, I walk away. But now I'm going to later say, oh, no, it's 4 when someone asks me. And then you're going to go, no, you got to say it's 5. Dude, I'm not going to say it's 5. It's 4. If you want to believe it's 5, you can say it's 5 and you can believe it's 5. But I know it's 4 and I'm going to say 4. We can survive that way. But when now I have to accept that it's 5 and I have to go, all right, it's 4, it's 5. Now we have a problem. Or worse, I have to affirm it. When you go, it's 5, I go, yeah, it is. So 5. Those people who say it's 4, idiots. 2 plus 2 is completely 5. That's affirmation. All I want is tolerance. That's it. If we just keep tolerance, we'll be fine. It's when it comes to the next pieces that we begin to have trouble. I'm not going to be forced to affirm. I'm not going to be forced to accept. Just tolerate. That's fine. Ed says, cancel culture is basically how it happened from the long time because of it's all about the moral myopia narrative. It's just like how cultists going after people who are going against the religious narrative. Ah, I see. Okay. Yes. In other words, in modern times, they're going after those who are going after those who disagree with that. Okay. If you actually either have a narrative that actually doesn't make sense or you're unsure of, or you know it's bad, you need others to agree with you to validate your bad behavior, right? So if I'm doing something bad, I need others to say, no, Larry, that's clearly not bad. It's good. Well, it feels bad. And it looks bad. But these people around me are telling me it's not bad. Oh, I guess it's not bad then. And while that may sound silly, that's really human nature. I think Ed's right. So now that people saying, no, Larry, that's bad. I got to shut you up. Because if I don't shut you up, then I start feeling that what I'm doing is actually bad. And I can't validate my bad behavior. So I have to have others tell you to be quiet and don't say anything. So people around me keep telling me that what I'm doing is good, even though it's bad. So I think that's the point he's trying to make. But if what I'm doing is just good, I probably don't need people to validate it because I know it's good. I don't need validation. But very often, if it's bad, I need it. So yes. Dan says the leftist cancel culture is cannibalistic. Man, I'm seeing that, man. You are right, Dan. You're right. It'll kill us up eventually. The only question is how the country and culture in the U.S. change by the time that happens. You actually have hit the nail on the head, Dan. And this is why there's a time limit to this. Because at one point, the culture changes to be like this. So even if it starts killing itself, it just keeps eating itself. And if you've ever seen I think it's Amazon Prime series, The Man in the High Tower, it's basically an alternate universe where in that universe, the Germans and the Japanese actually win World War II. They come up with the bomb. They nuke DC and take over America, right? And at one point, there's an American who's running basically the American part zone of the German Reich. And his wife is like, you have to stop this. Like, you're an American. You have to stop this. And he looks at her and he says, I don't know how. And he's running things like he's the man, right? He's basically the Fuhrer in America, right? He's the man. She's like, you got to stop this. He's like, I don't know how. And you're right, Dan. We get to a point to where it's just going. How do you stop it? That actually is my bigger issue. And I think the example you see in reality, that obviously is fictional. But in reality, I think what you actually see is with the COVID lockdowns, you find people who they've just spent so much time putting on a mask or keeping distant or doing the thing you're supposed to do. It's almost like a ritual that we've learned. So we can't imagine going out. I mean, I have some myself. I live in New York City, so I keep a mask in my pocket. So I was in Oklahoma last weekend. Not lockdowns in Oklahoma. I don't have to have a mask. But I kept a mask in my pocket because in New York City, someplace you can't go in without a mask. So I got to have a mask in my pocket in case I want to go into a place that requires a mask. It's a habit I have now. I now walk around with a mask in my pocket. I know, right? So I think your point's a very valid one. This has to stop before it gets to a point where it is American culture. That's my worry. Thank you for that, Dan.